Good evening, everyone. I'm Satish, founder of Joker and Witch. I'm a tad bit nervous, to be very honest. And I think, honestly, I'm not prepared. I don't think so this needs any bit of preparation. And I can sort of blame a little bit of the bar out there if I sort of lose my trail of thought to a certain extent. Today, I think I'm going to talk about the two facets of my life which has sort of shaped me in and out. Um, which is fear and confidence. For me, in my life, I think fear and confidence have been the two sides of my life coin. I would say that they both are synonymous to each other. In my own definition, I would say fear and confidence are the implicit and explicit expression of one's state of mind. I'll try to connect the dots of my last 40 years of my life um, in a very chronological order. So I come from a very small town. I was raised in a small, sleepy town in UP. Uh, and as far as I can remember, when I was possibly 13 years old, back in 1996, is when, for the first time, I think there was some sort of a revolution in the cable television. We used to have fashion TV. I used to have a lot of fear when I used to watch it. One fine day, when my father passed through the television, he didn't say much. That fear turned into confidence. Uh, Going a little ahead, I always wanted to be a fashion designer. Coming from a very small place, I really didn't know much about it. I expressed that to my father with some bit of fear. He outrightly rejected it. He said, son, to an engineer, you have to become an engineer. I believe in certain times, parents know better than the kids as to what they need to do. And I sort of took some bit of confidence in the fact that, possibly he knows better than me as to what should I do. Uh, Fast forward, became an engineer, quite fearful, got into my engineering college, quite fearful of getting ragged. And I remember I sort of, due to my silly nature, due to some bit of my demeanor, I got some of my seniors to really, laugh it out around what I used to respond with. That became some bit of the confidence that, I sort of came over it. Uh, I started my career with Capgemini. I was into development, a lot of fear. I was an electrical engineer, got into the development side of life. I was quite fearful that how would I code owing to being an electrical engineer, not that I really studied engineering through in and out. When I started coding, I resorted to a lot of Google for getting my code hacks, and I was pretty good at what I used to do. I don't know how I did it. And that sort of translated into confidence. Fast forward, I got my MBA from MICA, and I graduated in 2009. There was a time of recession, quite fearful as to having paid whatever fee I paid, what kind of placements would I get. Eventually, it turned out that I eventually got into HCL Technologies, though this time in a marketing role. I was a little fearful about starting off my career, restarting my career with an IT company, only to realize that I was pretty good at what I was doing. That sort of resulted into confidence again. Uh, Life was good, not great. I was doing well, but I had a certain sense of vacuum. I think as a kid, I was fascinated with watches, with fragrances, and also because of the fact that I came from a small town. I didn't have a lot of access to a lot of things, and there was a time in my life wherein I was not very sure of whether I liked technology or not, and that was a time when I met the CEO of a startup called Fashion New back in 2009. I wrote a passionate email to her, met her. She offered me a job, but at a 50% pay cut. I was quite fearful. But when I joined the firm, and I had a very short stint of 7 months, I thought I sort of learned a lot more than the time I spent in the company. I felt pretty confident. Fast forwards, had my stint in IBIBO, had my stint in a startup called Style Tag based out of Bangalore. This was 2013 when, during my stint in Style Tag, I met Maya, who's now my co-founder, my wife. When I proposed to her, I had a lot of fear as to what she would say, but I remember when she smiled, that translated into confidence. Uh, we started Joker and Witch around the same time, end of 2014. I was very fearful of quitting my job, but when we started and I saw her by my side, I was extremely confident. So in a nutshell, I felt that just a parting thought. So very recently, I have undergone a cervical surgery, a cervical spondylotic myelopathy, and I was extremely fearful as to what would happen if things go wrong in the surgery. And I think the third day I started walking, and that sort of translated into confidence. So I feel that one should always be fearful, but always look at being confident. And if you're confident, never let go of your fears, so that it doesn't throw you off balance and keeps you grounded. So yeah, that's been my life.